lionfish will basically eat anything that will fit in its mouth. In our waters here, the theory is an aquarium or various aquarium owners release their pets into the waters here in Florida. If they're left unchecked, they can decimate up to 90% of our native reef fish.
So, how did Zookeeper begin? I was in the housing market when we had the big boom before the bubble burst, and then of course the bubble burst, and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I went back home to Curacao because that's where I was raised, and while I was there I was doing LED lighting and design, and every morning I would sit down with a friend of mine for coffee, and he turned to me and said, "Hey, you need to design something to protect scuba divers from the venomous spines of a lionfish." And I was like, what's a lionfish? So he educated me on how they were doing it at the time. And I basically went to the Curacao version of Home Depot and bought a bunch of stuff, went back to the office and started the whole design process. I was going to call it Lionfish Keeper, and then I told my wife about it. Next day she came up with Zookeeper. When you think about the lionfish invasion here and how it started, and think about what those particular lionfish went through to get to this coast. So they were caught somewhere in the Indian Ocean or the Pacific, and they were caught really small. And then they had to travel, whether by ship or by plane, into probably the west coast of the United States. And from there, by truck or by plane, to all the different aquariums.
Pandora's box has been opened. It's never going to close. But with active fishing, we can keep the populations in check and keep it manageable to where the native species can still thrive over time. All those all the lionfish eating all the baby snapper, the baby grouper, all the babies. It's putting a hurting on the natural population.
Today we went diving and we found a lot of lionfish. We had a good method between us. I would hold the flag and spot them, and Carrie would get them.
Yep.
And sometimes they were tricky to get.
Yeah, I was going to spear one and I missed it, and it started swimming off, and I chased it and went up in this way deep corner, and I was in a funny angle, but I was able to get it and bring it back.
Perseverance.
Yes.
I've tried to design something that will last forever. Zookeeper just popped out of nowhere. It was the last thing I was thinking of. It was a great challenge. I'm really, really excited to see where Zookeeper's going to go, starting next week. Because I can see it going on and on.